And looks like we are live now. So let me switch over to my page. Da 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 da. My channel. And there we are. All right. Yo, yo, yo. What is good, YouTube? It is your boy, Lincoln Clay, coming at you with another edition of The Lincoln Show. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor as well. Make sure you hit the like button to help spread my content to a wider audience. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you can stay notified whenever I upload new content. I would appreciate that as well. If you are a new subscriber to the channel, welcome to the channel. I hope you are enjoying the content. And as stated before, this is another edition of The Lincoln Show. And tonight I have a very, very, very special guest, my first female guest, the Titanfall Princess. How you doing? And then go ahead and shoot your intro, young lady.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? But I'm going to say one thing before I do my intro. Most people that are here probably know me already. For those who don't, check out his channel. He does do good content. I've done podcasts with him before. He's a good person. So yeah, hit him up, check it out, and spread the word, hit that like button. But you know me, I'm the Titanfall Princess. I do the Irish podcast, usually on Thursdays. But a lot of people couldn't make it, and I already promised, Lincoln that I'd be here. So I'm not doing it tonight. Besides, there wasn't really a lot of good stuff to be talking about. So I didn't want to bore you all either. And on Tuesday, I do Here We Go With That Shit Again. And when I get something good, I put stuff up on Mama's Bot Roast. So, check out the channel, and let's get this started.
No doubt. I appreciate you being here. And, yo, what's up, J-Dog? So let me see here. Cause, what I'm looking at today in gaming is, really different from what I saw about 30 years ago. So, so if I could ask you, how old are you?
I don't answer those questions.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. You got a little bit of a where you from? Because you got a little bit of a New York or a Boston accent.
Actually, I was born in New York, but I grew up in Jersey.
Okay, all right. I've been
North Jersey, right across the border from New York. So
okay, I've been to Atlantic City before at the boardwalk. So that was kind of cool, except for the seagulls swooping down, taking people's food.
Better be careful they don't shit on your head, too. You got to run. They got good aim.
All right. So how long you been a content creator on YouTube?
For about 3 years now.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. So I take it you still have a passion for it, if you're still doing it?
Oh, yeah. People want me off, but I'm not leaving until I want to leave.
I feel you on that. So as far as gaming goes, what's good, Video? What is your preferred platform?
Currently right now is PlayStation.
Okay. Which isn't very surprising given the state of Microsoft.
Well, it's been that way for a little bit. I never really, I go where the games are, whatever game I like. It don't matter what console it's on. I go there. But right now, and it's been for a while, for a long time, they have the games that I want to play, a variety. It's a one-stop shop for me. And I love it. I love it.
No doubt. I'm definitely having the time of my life on the PlayStation. What about Microsoft? What do you think of the current state of Microsoft?
They need to get their shit together. I think they fucked up a lot this gen. They're not producing enough games. I understand, when they closed down some studios because, they weren't doing what they want, what they wanted them to do or whatever. But you need to give us more. I don't want hardware. I'm not a hardware collector. I'm a game collector, and I'm a gamer at the end of the day. I want games. You tell me you got the most powerful console, but I don't see nothing to back that up. So I really just they need to get anybody who has a console by Microsoft needs to really just say, hey, wait a minute. I want games. I don't care if you own other consoles or whatever, but if you bought that piece of equipment, that piece of hardware, Don't kiss their ass and say they're doing fine. We just give them backwards compat and stuff like that. Tell them I want more. I want new content.
Yeah,
I want
absolutely.
something different.
Do you have an Xbox One X?
No, I'm not getting that. For what? Pay $600 for what? A paperweight? No. Sorry, that's the way I feel. You'll find that out for me, Lincoln. I keep it real. I keep it 100, and ain't nobody, and that's never going to change.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I don't have an Xbox One X either, but you know, to some degree, it was bittersweet. You know, I bought my son one, and through him, I found out what I needed to know, and it's not worth the $500. You know, it's what he wanted. That's what I got for him, even though he don't even play it. You know, it is what it is. But as long as he's happy, I'm happy.
Right.
So I guess I guess the next question is mute, you know, because I was going to ask you if it was worth the $500. It's not to me. So
not to me, it's not. No, not to me, it's not, because it really ain't much. And what I have and what they're offering, I already have either on my 360 or my Xbox One. So why would I go and buy another one for some supposed little uppity up in graphics? Come on, no.
Yeah, and I've done the comparisons myself. You know,
there's not much.
No,
in my opinion, unless you got, people tell me unless you got a 4K TV, then maybe it'd be better than what you see. But if you just got a regular TV, no. And I'm not gonna go buy a $500 console and then buy another 4K TV on top of it, buy an extra controller, and then have no games. But what I have on my Xbox One on my 360 already, I could just go back there and play them.
Yeah, no question. I got the PlayStation Pro. So when I first bought my son the Xbox One X, you know, I set them up on identical TVs, and I could not, you know, it was only a couple of games where I could tell the difference. You know, it wasn't much of a difference. Therefore, it was not worth the purchase to me, being it I already had the PlayStation Pro. So no, they're not going to get my money. So those money is better spent on those PlayStation exclusives.
There you go. I agree with that 100%. It's better spent on games.
Mm-hmm. So, with you being a woman in a was in a pastime that is dominated by men, you know, do you get a lot of guys hitting on you on YouTube?
I have, yeah.
How about the other side of that coin?
I usually ignore it though. You know, I don't get into that. I usually ignore it. Yeah, I get a lot of hate too.
Okay.
I've gotten a lot of threats, and other things happen. But then then again, you got to realize you're online and people are hiding behind a keyboard, so they do what they're going to do. I mean, I've seen men get some of the same stuff too. You know, like new upcoming YouTubers get some of it, but I mean, I know about getting hit on, but the hate, I mean, on the other side. And if you are getting hit on, sorry guys, then we got some weird asses in the community.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've seen on both sides. But yeah, I've gotten it a lot. I've gotten people, telling me I should leave YouTube, death threats, and a lot of other crazy shit.
You know, how have you dealt with that kind of stuff?
When I first started, it kind of bothered me. And then I was like, wait a minute. Why am I letting these jackasses that I don't even know get to me? I mean, like the first month and a half, it kind of bothered me. Then I just said, to hell with it. Let them say what the hell they want. They don't know me. I don't know them. And I don't owe them shit. If you don't like what I do, don't listen. Bottom line. Evidently, you're not playing games because you're here trolling me. So,
yeah, that's that's something I definitely took into consideration before I started my YouTube channel, because through people like King Thrash and other YouTubers that I follow, I've heard about some of the hate that they got, how they've been attacked, people threatening them, death threats and stuff like that. So, I'm not trying to talk a bunch of shit, but that's why I let it be known what I look like, because I want to make sure that, anybody threatens me, I want them to know what I look like before they decide they want to try to take me on. Not that somebody would jump on a plane and fly way over here, but Um, I don't have too many problems when I walk down the street, and my channel hasn't gotten big enough, that I got people, trolling me and stuff like that. But, I mean, realistically, if somebody's 110 pounds, seeing me at 210 pounds, knowing what I look like, unless, they might talk some shit behind the keyboard, but yeah, what are the chances they're going to jump on a plane and really come over here?
That's true. But the reason I don't put my pick out there, because one, it shouldn't matter. Two, because I'm always talking about gaming. Two, is because you got those people out there, you put your face out there, and when they want to troll you, they'll take your face and put it on another body, do all the crazy shit with it. And that's why, you don't need to see what I look like. I mean, what's the big deal?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you always need to see what somebody looks like? What is the big deal? And the trolls, they talk that shit, but you don't see where are their picks. They don't have one.
Right.
So I don't worry about that.
A lot of these dudes probably got more problems than we'll ever know. Some of them might be talking that shit from, in a wheelchair or something like that for all we know. So, but again, my channel's not big enough that I don't think I got to worry about that.
You'll get it very soon. Trust me. You don't have to be that big. If they see people start liking your stuff, that's all they need to know. And you'll start getting it. It'll come. It'll come.
I believe it. I believe it. So, I saw you. I saw a couple of your streams before, and I saw you stream some fighting games. Is that your preferred genre?
Yes. Yes, but right now, I can't do Street Fighter 5 because they keep changing it and they keep fucking up the characters with all their updates and everything else. I mean, unfortunately, 2 weeks ago on the podcast, I told people that's one I'm not going to stream. I will do Street Fighter 4. I will stream that, and other fighting games, but I can't do Street Fighter 5 no more. They got to fix it or something because it just gets too annoying. And I'm tired of all, every time you play, there's another update, another change that fucks with the game, period. And they don't put people together that belong together in a fight. I mean, they ask you to give feedback, and if somebody has a connection that is like I got 5 bars, they got 1 bar. Why are you putting me up against somebody that this thing's going to just lag the hell out, and I can't move?
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a bad matchmaking.
They have a problem, and I've sent them information. I've told them. But it's like my voice, I don't know if they're working on it. I'm not going to say that. I don't know if they're working on it, but if they are, good for you. But if you're not, shame on you. I'm just not going to stream it no more and promote it no more because they keep doing updates and they're screwing with the characters. I mean, they nerf some that don't need to be nerfed. They buff people that don't need to be buffed anymore. And it's making it impossible to even play.
Yeah, that sucks. Let me respond to a comment real quick from
Go ahead.
From Almighty Spartan God. He says, Princess says you don't have to be big. Size doesn't matter. You're absolutely right. Actually, when I did the stream with Fatal Mephisto, I got a bad comment from someone, but I didn't even give them the satisfaction of even acknowledging it. And I know that stuff is coming sooner or later, but I think right now, I don't think it's going to happen on a level that she's receiving it or Thrash is receiving it until my channel gets a little bit bigger. It might, I get a little dislike here and there, but as far as negative comments goes, I only gotten 1 so far. So it's just one of those things. When it happens, I have to cross that bridge when it gets there. But for the most part, I'm not too worried about it because, like you said, these cyber gangsters sit behind keyboards. What are they really going to do except, talk about a lot of hot air? So. So what's my next question here? So,
I could tell you something. I mean, if you want to get thick skin on that, I can come in and mess with you and to see if you can handle it.
Oh, Vinny had already tried it. Xbox Vinny had already tried it. See, here's the thing, if my physical build has nothing to do with my mentality because I dealt with 2 people that made me the way I am, that made me thick-skinned and very conservative. One would be my brother. He is the king of all assholes. You know, he's Loki and I'm Thor. You know, we are night and day. This dude, he will get into an argument with you and he will not stop until he gets the last word in. And if you don't back down and try to hold your ground, he will start getting louder and try to intimidate you. And if you don't back down, then he'll outright, you know, challenge you to a fight. You know, and I need a calculator to tell you how many fights we had in the street.
Dang.
The other thing I dealt with, a dude that I grew up with, he's really competitive. And every time we get on a basketball court, play video games, go bowling, whatever we did, he did more than try to beat me. He tried to destroy me, you know, and part of it was trying to talk shit to me and trying to get into my head, you know. And what I ended up finding out was, what I ended up finding out was that whenever I beat him and I never talked any shit back, it made him twice as mad.
That's what happens if you don't talk. When you beat somebody, well, it depends on the person. You got to know the person in order to do it. You got to try both ways, because sometimes talking shit to them will get them even angrier, and other times not saying nothing. You're absolutely right. Will piss them off. It was like, okay, why ain't he gloating? Why ain't he saying anything? I do it to him. Why is he doing it back?
Right. And in this guy's case, he would get super pissed because I wouldn't say anything to him. And then sometimes he would try to beat me so bad, he'd try to embarrass me and make sure he had his girlfriend around whenever he competed against me. So whenever I beat him, I would never say a word. You know, I just, you know, throw my bowling ball in the bag, start packing up, you know, grab the money off the table and walk out the door. And he would be super pissed. So my youngest brother had a saying. He said, silence is violence. That's how you kill him, by not saying shit to him.
No, he's got a point there. I mean, you got to know. It's the old saying, you know, you got to know when you can do something and know when to just walk away and let it be. And it depends on the person. Once again, some people just are all mouth and you just got to, you know, clock them on and say, okay, done now. You know, other times you just walk away and let them get pissed because you know it's never going to go to that point. But some people, you just got to, you know, and then they don't do it again. You know, you got to show them I ain't going to take this shit, bang, and that's it.
Right.
It is what it. I mean, I was taught that, you know, from brothers, just like, you know, your brother. I had a brother did the same thing. So yeah, I get your point. And they used to toughen me up, you know, because, you know, they used to tease and do this and do that. And so, yeah, I get what you're saying. So that way, when I was out, when I was little, that people would, you know, when people would say something, I would be taught to ignore it and thicken my skin up, and because they ain't worth nothing. Right. Because they would tell me after they did what they did, and of course they used to make me cry at first. I'm a girl. What do you want? But when I got out there, it was like, you don't even know me, you know. So pretty much in my head, I was just saying, fuck you, basically, you know, because it didn't matter. It didn't matter. You don't know me. You know nothing about me. So who cares what you say? Even if you knew me in school or whatever, you still don't know me like that. You know me just at school. You don't know me any other way. So go to hell. I don't care about you. I don't care. And that's how it was, you know, for me growing up. You know, YouTube, this goes back to the YouTube thing, the question you asked me earlier. Did it bother me in the beginning? Yeah, because I forgot about that thick skin, because it was something different. I'm dealing with, you know, I was dealing with YouTube, a wider audience of people. It was something different for me, you know. And then I said, what, you know, and then like I said, after about a month and a half, I was like, what the hell am I doing? Did I lose all my teachings? Come on.
So when you first decided to start a YouTube channel, did you have any idea that kind of stuff might happen?
Actually, no. Because I didn't think I was going to, you know, think that people. My thing was, I thought which was stupid. I thought YouTube was different, which it is different from the real world, but I thought it was different. Like people were just on there trying to make friends and stuff like that. And that's pretty much what I thought. And I got a reality check immediately. Life lesson learned. It's the same as when you step out your door, except they just don't see you and they're behind a keyboard. It's the same shit.
Okay. In my case, when I went to start my YouTube channel, I started out, I did an intro video and then, did a couple of videos about my preferred platform, that kind of stuff. And I figured that once I started gravitating towards the side, because the PlayStation is my preferred platform, I figured once I start to let that out and let that be known, I figured slowly but surely some shit might start coming my way. But, it hasn't really happened yet, but I'm sure it will sooner or later.
Once the fanboys on the other side find out, yeah, they'll come. It'll come. It's definitely going to come and get you, Lincoln. So, but you know what? But you know what I say? They say all this shit, but they're still there giving you views. And even if they hit the dislike button, so what? It still counts. They're still there giving you the time of day to hit a button. So don't worry. One thing don't do. Don't worry about that dislike button when you get the haters, because they're actually showing they actually like you without telling you that. Because if I didn't like somebody's channel, I'm not even going to come there to hit that dislike button. I'm just not going to watch you, period. So they got something you want to see. So think of it that way.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing that made me learn to get thick skin. I had said it before. I am related to a very famous athlete. He is, see, there I go again. I said he. In any case, he is known all over the world, and he is a villain in the eyes of a lot of people. So I've had to deal with people telling me they don't like him, they can't stand him, they want to see this happen to him. And, so I had to deal with a lot of that stuff because, they're fans, they have their right to dislike something, and there's like, if you don't like them, that's fine. There's not a whole lot I can do about it, because if I was to fight everybody who said something about them, I'd be in 100 fights a day. So that's another thing that had to
or you'd be in jail. So yeah.
So it's not even worth it. So those three factors: my brother, this competitive friend that I grew up with, and the athlete that I'm related to, having to deal with the situation.
Can I ask him what sport he plays?
I would rather not say, because it would.
That's fine.
If I gave away the sport, you will know who he is.
Okay, that's fine.
So I just it's one of those things, like I'll put it to you this way. I'll tell you when we go off air.
All right. That's cool. That's cool.
Because I don't want to deal with, I don't want to have to deal with the hate coming through the chat and stuff like that.
Fine.
So I'll definitely tell you when we go offline. So, with the games that you play, the fighting games, a couple of streams that I've seen, you was talking a lot of shit, so can you back it up? I mean, do you got skills?
Of course I got skills. Ask El Matador, who's been on my podcast. You know El Matador, I think.
I might have. I think I might have heard of him before.
Ask Dexter, man. You could ask a lot of people. I even play Garuda Legends. I played I play a lot of people.
Okay, he's in here. He's in here. So Legends, tell me, do she got skills that did she put a foot in your ass?
You got to realize something. Garuda Legends is very good, especially at Street Fighter 4. But he can't get on Street Fighter 5 and get me. He knows that. That's why he don't come. Right, Garuda?
Right here, J-Dog right here. He said you a beast. He watched your streams.
I grew up on fighting games. Fighting's in my blood.
Okay. What about the Tekken games? Do you play those?
Yeah, I play those too.
You got skills in those?
Yep. I just haven't streamed them much.
Okay, because I used to be an animal on Tekken 3, and y'all just used to know all them 10-punch combos. Now, because it's been so many years since I played the game, I'm probably average at best. But
that happens when you don't play a game for a while, and you come back to it. It happens.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I'm kind of the jack of all trades. There was another game that I used to be really good at. But that's kind of it with me. A lot of the games that I used to be good at, I haven't played them in years because I try to move on to other things. And then when you try to come back, it don't come back right away.
Yeah, I try to always play a little bit of a fighting game throughout a day so I don't lose everything, because I've been playing a lot of Souls games and stuff like that, and other games that which I'm enjoying a lot. And of course, God of War, since it came out, I'm playing that. I did beat the game. Now I'm just running through it again because there's just so much to do in the game and so much replay value that I'm enjoying it so much, but I'm taking my time. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to take my time because I'm enjoying myself.
Okay, that was going to be one of my questions if
Oh,
you bought
sorry.
God of War. No. Actually, that's good. So why we on that subject? So what did you think of the game? I mean, and how long did it take you to beat it?
How long it take me to beat it? Let me see. Trying to think in hours. Mm, not a long time. I really didn't clock it because I played like some one day, some the next day, but like within 2 days I had it, it was done.
No kidding.
So yeah. But like I said, I went back. You know what? Let me check and see what the time it has. Yeah, what time did I beat that in? Let me see if I have it. I don't know. Doesn't show. I don't know.
We still talk about God of War, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was still like I'm trying to think.
You beat it in
Damn,
2 days?
about 2 days.
Damn.
Yeah, because I that was the game I was playing all the time.
Would you take
I
two
didn't
days
come off
off
of
of
it.
work?
Nah, I just didn't get sleep, and then went. Well, I didn't have to take 2 days off because it came out on Friday, so I had, you know, it came out on a Friday, so
Oh yeah, good point. Good point.
I have to take off work. But I stood up, I just didn't sleep and slept in the next day.
Oh, in my case, shit, I don't even think I'm halfway through the game yet. And what ended up happening to me was, I ended up messing around with a lot of them, side quests, and I like the favors and stuff. I didn't know that they was side quests. I just thought it was something that had to be done in order for me to progress in the main story. And then once I started, like, whoa, this is some side shit. We getting away from the story. Then I had to get back on track with that. So,
Well, that's what I started doing originally. I said, you know what? Let me finish the main story first, and then I'll go back and do the any other side quests that they want.
mhm.
So that's what I did, and now I'm finishing up the rest. I'm going to definitely platinum it. That's no doubt about that. But I'm just taking my time because I'm enjoying it. I love the graphics. I
Mhm.
love, without spoiling anything, I love the story. I love the music. I'm glad they went in this direction. I'm a big God of War fan, and I think it has a lot of potential for even this one if they have it downloadable, the extra downloadable content, as well as the new God of War. It's going to happen.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I can't say enough about the game because some people haven't played it yet. Some people are still in the middle. So I don't want to say too much except what I enjoyed about it. Like I said, the graphics were good. Scenery was good. Gameplay was good. Weapons were good. Looting was good. I enjoyed that part, the looting and doing all that. Story. It does. If people really paid attention to it, even if you didn't play the other God of War series, it gives you an idea of what it was about if you play the game. And that's
Mhm.
all I'm going to tell you.
So,
I'm not, because I don't want to do any spoilers for people.
oh yeah, I feel
It
you.
does give you a hint of what happened in the other ones and how he came to be where he is now.
Mhm. So you talked about going back and trying to get your platinum trophy. How
Mhm.
many platinum trophies do you have?
I don't even know. I don't usually count them like that. I just do it and keep moving for my next game.
Well, I have
You could you could
absolutely
you can
zero.
actually look it up. I have quite a bit, but I have enough. But you could actually go to my profile and you'll see it. I
Okay.
don't hide my shit, so anybody can go there and see.
All right, I'll definitely check it out because I favor the trophy system on the PlayStation versus the achievement system on the Xbox because on the Xbox, when a person reaches like a 50,000 gamer score, I'm not going to dig into that and see what they did because it's, at 50,000, it's like, okay, they played a lot of games. But if I check your stuff and you got some platinum trophies, wait a minute, let me look into this, because platinum trophies is hard to get. So okay, let me see what this person did to get platinum. So I think they're more intriguing, to look and see what somebody accomplished on the game.
Okay, but just to
And
let you know, on the other side, I'm at 113 almost.
oh, good lord.
Tells you how much I play. And on PlayStation, to let you know, I would have had my level would have been higher and probably more platinums, but I changed my account and you can't bring the stuff with you. So my other account that I had, I was at like a level 20 or something like that, 20 something. So right now I'm only at 21, working on 22, but you can't bring that stuff over when you change your name.
Yeah, I
That's the
experienced
only
that
thing they need
too.
to correct. But I actually started another account. So if I continued with the same account, I probably would be at about level 40 about now, 40 something.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
My first, let me see, as far as the Xbox goes, my original name got banned because, uh, basically they cracked me for playing games early because I was burning my own games back then, and I was getting a hold of them like 2 weeks before the retailers were. So I was, so they kind of caught that and banned my name. So I had to come back with another name. And then over on the PlayStation side, I forgot all my information, so I had to create a new account. So all my trophies and all that stuff was lost, but still no platinum, not one single platinum.
Well, I had some, but it is what it is. But like I said, I keep my stuff is open, so you could look it up. TTFP rules. Look it up.
All
You'll
right, for
see.
sure. I will definitely check it out. So, I want to switch gears for a minute and go
Okay.
to the Microsoft side. Uh, do you think, the way things is going right now, do you think Microsoft is on its way out of the hardware business?
Um, I don't think they're out of the way, going out in the hardware business because they still have too many people buying like multiple consoles and all that. I think what they may be doing is going with their software, going more digital than anything else.
Okay.
You
So
still need a console to play.
this is true. Uh,
So I don't think they'll do that, but I think they're trying to do more of, instead of making the games that you can buy and actually have in your hand, they want to go pretty much digital.
mhm. And because of that, I'm led to believe that because of the digital aspect and them moving towards this cloud gaming thing, I'm led to believe that the next Xbox could be some sort of Steam box or even some sort of Fire Stick. But
Something like that. Yeah, it could be. It definitely could be.
so
My thing is I don't mind sometimes, having digital, like especially if it's a game that maybe I haven't played and you really can't find a hard copy of or something like that, something I discovered. But certain games, I'm a collector. You can go back and look at some old videos. You'll see some of the game that I didn't put it. It's not all up there, but cause I didn't even do PS4 yet, all of it. I didn't do some other stuff, but you'll see I collect games. So sometimes, you know, going all digital for somebody like me is kind of sad because I'm a collector. I'm a gamer at the end of the day and I love my games. So, I mean, maybe it is the wave of the future and I just gotta get used to that. But for collectors, that's hard. And you can even do that with comic books and everything else. When they stop making certain things, these collectors like, oh shit, I gotta hold on to this now because it's the only thing I got left. They're not doing it no more.
right. As far as I'm kind of a mix. I'll buy a digital game. It's starting to get more and more like that, but I'll buy a physical disc if it's like you said, if it's something that I want to collect, and for a collector's item, then I'll buy a physical disc. So with Microsoft and the Game Pass, do you think they will have the kind of success with Game Pass that they were hoping to have with the Xbox One console itself?
I think that's what they're hoping for. Whether it happens or not is another story because, well, for some people, I think they'll get the Game Pass because it's cheap enough. They don't have to pay the $60 for the game unless they're a really hardcore gamer and the disc's available, like you said, collectors like us that want it. I think but you see, I think it's a good idea for some, but not good for others, in my opinion.
I
Like for
agree.
me, I mean, it's not a bad concept, but I think you're rushing it too fast. And I think they're trying to recoup the losses that they already had, this past generation. And I think that's why they did it. But once again, a lot of stuff that's on there, I already have that they're putting up there. I have it. So why, like I said, I'll use it for games, maybe new games, or games that I haven't seen or wanted to play back then. I'll try it now because I could try it. I could try like 50 games in a month if I wanted to see if I liked it or not because it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, no
doubt. If I like it, I'll play it. If I like it, I'll play it. If I don't, I don't.
Now, in my case, I move forward with the technology. I mean, backwards compatibility don't really do anything for me.
Right.
So, case in point, during the 360 generation, I had a modified 360. And as I was saying, I was burning my own games. So before I stopped burning games, I had about 300 games. And when this generation started and I bought a PS4, I sold that Xbox 360 because if I wanted backwards compatibility, I would have kept that console. So so Game Pass having with the majority of the games being 360 games, it really doesn't do anything for me because as I was saying, I move forward with technology. So when the PS5 comes out and I gravitate and I move and make that transition to the PS5, I'm probably not going to look back at the PS4. I'll probably sell my PS4 and all the games that I have with it because, again, I move with the technology. So,
but once again, I'm a collector with consoles because I have a Dreamcast and I have 2 GameCubes. I have PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I have OG Xbox. I have my 360. I have Xbox One. I got a lot of consoles even in my house. That's also one of the things that's on some of my old videos.
Okay. I had a Dreamcast too. That console was ahead of its time. And I made a huge mistake of giving that console to my son, which he was about 4 years old at the time, because every time I was playing something on my 360, he would keep walking up to me trying to take the controller. And when I didn't give it to him, he'd throw a wild fit. So I gave him my Dreamcast, big mistake, 4-year-old kid destroyed it. So,
oh boy. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I mean, if it gets down to it, I'll find another one on eBay or something like that, and get my Shenmue back as a collector's item.
Oh shit, yeah, that was a game on there. Yes.
Oh yeah, and I definitely can't wait for Shenmue 3. That's another one of the games on my radar, along with all those other games that's coming out this year.
You just named an excellent game.
So I'm hoping this one will get some closure. You know what I mean? So we'll see how this plays out. So does any of the Microsoft exclusives appeal to you?
Not really. No, I'm going to be honest. Not too much. Nah, I just got to say no. I mean, they're just whatever right now, in my opinion.
Okay.
And every time they do put one out, they want to, patch it. There's always issues with it and whatever. So I ain't too in a rush to worry about what they're putting out right now. I got plenty to play right here. I mean, I'll check them out. Don't get me wrong. And I'll give you my opinion then when it happens.
Okay. Now these days with gaming, well, I'll start back with my day, back in my day. I say about 20 years ago, because I'm an old buzzard, you know what I mean? I'll be 51 next Friday.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, I still look like what you're seeing right now. That picture right there that you're looking at is about a year and a half old. But I got a bunch of pictures. But anyway, so back when I was about 30 years old, about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, women despised video games. They hated video games. And, like some of the women that I dated, they acted like they was competing against, the video game console for my attention, or they acted like I was cheating on them with the video game console. So there was times, when a woman, like a woman that I really want to hook up with was getting ready to come over, or something like that. And I'm like, man, if she sees this Sega Genesis, sitting under my TV, she might turn around and walk out the door. So I quick snatch the wires out from behind the TV and go throw it in the closet until she leave. So, so what I'm asking is like, the landscape has changed, like more than ever. I see women playing video games, and I mean, especially like on live from PlayStation, half of the people I see streaming on there are women, and and I ain't trying to be raunchy or nothing like that. A lot of these women is beautiful. They, a lot of these women are the kind of women that you think they would be off, putting on their makeup or something like that. But here they are playing video games. So why do you think the
But this way,
landscape
if you
has
have to
changed?
if you have to put first of all, if you have to put on makeup, then you don't you have to cake on makeup, then you don't feel yourself being beautiful already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my opinion on that. But I think I don't know. I don't know if it's changed or that people are just now saying, "Hey, wait a minute. Why can't I show people that I play games?" I think it's more of like coming out the closet, like I've always played them. You know what I mean? Hell,
Mm-hmm.
my mama used to go and play them.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah, my mama used to go and play.
Oh, then she was unique because I like back in my days, I used to stress that to my friends that played video games. I was like, hey, if you meet a woman that like video games, you better hang on to her because then y'all can get down together and play games together.
Oh hell yeah, that's
Because
the thing. And my man don't mind me playing video games. I mean, he plays. He's more of a Nintendo person, but he plays. And I'll try to get him on, when I'm playing a fighting game and whoop his ass. But you know, yeah. But yeah, it is fun, and it's enjoyable. I mean, it's relaxing. You know, a lot of people in my family play it. My sister-in-law plays video games. Her daughter plays video games. Um, their kids play video games. My brother plays video games. My other brother plays video games. My sister, her and her kids play video games. They got all the consoles.
wow. So do y'all have some of those like family gatherings, like maybe y'all have a
And
cookout or something like that?
that's hard because we're spread all over the place.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it's hard to actually do that because some are out of state, some are in state, but we're separated like from like northern and southern, and so
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You know,
But I mean, we talk about it.
Oh yeah, like back in my days, before there was the internet and that kind of stuff. I go over one of my boys' house, and there's like 7, 8 dudes in a hot, sweaty ass basement and shit like that. Waiting their turn to play Madden or NBA Live or something like that. So the landscape has definitely changed from my younger days. But it's a wonderful thing. Aside from the microtransactions and stuff, I definitely like what we're seeing today in gaming.
Yeah.
So I only got a couple questions left. So do you have a PlayStation VR?
No. No.
That's something you're interested in trying?
I am, but I don't know how it's going to fit. I don't like stuff on my face like that. And most people know I wear glasses. I already said that. And putting that over glasses, I don't know how that's going to affect me. Is
Totally
it going to be
understandable.
comfortable? But I do want to try it, though. I do want to try it because I heard people tell me about it and said they had great experiences with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they said it was like good. So I do want to give it a shot. I do. I really do.
So if you give it a shot, what kind of game would you want to try?
Probably something scary.
Like
a
that
horror one.
like that Resident Evil?
Resident Evil or something. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah,
Because I think that would be fun. And I would do a reaction thing because you probably hear me screaming a lot when something coming at me or falling out the closet or something.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that would be fun. And it'd be a fun thing to even put up for people to see or whatever, your reaction, having a VR on or whatever. I mean, yeah, I mean, it'd be good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another thing that'd be kind of fun to try is when the PlayStation VR launched, there was the VR worlds, and they had one of the experiences on there was called, I think it was called Shark Cage or something like that, where you're being lowered to the ocean floor in a shark cage, and on your way up, a big great white came at you, and this shark looked like it had to be about 1,000 pounds, about 15 feet long, and the thing ripped the door off the cage and stuck his head up in there, and it seemed so real. So that might be
Oh
something
shit.
that it'll have you jumping up on the couch.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The reaction would be good.
Oh yeah, I did that with a girl I was dating. I had her come over, and that's exactly what she did. She jumped up on the couch and was screaming and stuff, and I had to catch her because the way she was jumping around, I thought she was going to snatch the cords out of the console. So I had to grab her real quick. That was pretty funny. And so my last real question I got for you is, what would you like to see from both Microsoft and Sony the next generation?
Um, Sony, I'd like to see them continue doing what they're doing. I mean, we all know they're opening up a new studio. Continue with the first party games. Just keep bringing the games like they're bringing it. Microsoft, more exclusives, more genres of game, more fighting games, more I mean, people hate when I say that, but you need more Japanese games. You need some of these games. You need to get over there and get some of these games. Even if it is going to be a multi-plat or whatever, you need something more on your console, but they need more they need more exclusives. They really do. You can't go with the same three all the time. Halo, Gears, and Forza. You can't do that. I mean, it's getting tiring. And you're not doing well. I mean, in my opinion, you're not doing much different with any of them. I mean, look what they did with Gears. I mean, you bring out a story that of these young kids, but you didn't give any background. You just jump like way ahead into the future, and you only know about one child.
Good point. Good
and
point.
what happened to everybody else? They never even said, they never went to the part where what happened with Anya and all that other stuff. Yeah, they gave you a cliffhanger at the end, and I know what's going to happen and where it's going to start from and whatever. But I don't think that one was as good as the last ones at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then you jump so far ahead that you ain't got one of the best characters in there, my favorites, which is Coltrane in it. You got a couple scenes with him. Come on.
Yeah,
Man.
without a doubt.
Man, come on.
Ooh,
with that
me.
shit. I mean, so I kind of was, a little disappointed in that story part of that one. Racers I play, and it's okay. Halo, I think they went downhill on that. My opinion, people. And I know people don't think I have a right to my opinion, but I do because I'm a gamer.
Right.
But yeah, they like the main thing is they need more exclusive. They need to bring more content to the console. Period. More genres of games, especially fighting games. I mean, they only got the one, really.
Pretty much.
So, and they haven't done much with that either. So, what else do they got, really? Yeah. And I'm not being funny. I'm not knocking Microsoft, people. This is my honest opinion as a gamer. What else do they have? And don't go to that backwards compat, because everything that's there, I have my consoles. I don't need that. It may be good for somebody just starting the game. That's good for them. But for somebody like me, it's not. So they need new material, period.
Yeah. Period. And speaking of Microsoft exclusives, this was an unscripted question, but it just hit me. Do you think Crackdown 3 will be canceled?
I was thinking about that, but I didn't want to say it. Possibility. I don't know. That's the other problem that I have with Microsoft, is they like to keep canceling shit and canceling things that people really want. And you can't keep doing that and saying that's best for business. When you have a game that even PlayStation people are talking about and you cancel it, you're an idiot, because you may have had somebody buy your console for that game. So you're an idiot. And I'm not knocking them, but you're an idiot. Look, stop. One thing Microsoft needs to stop doing is listening to fanboys and not the people who actually are talking about the gaming part of it. Stop, stop listening to the corporate slaves. Stop doing it.
Definitely. And with the
And that's
corporate
what I think the
slaves,
problem is. And get off social media. Stop playing on social media with these people.
mm-hmm.
Back and forth, getting in chats with them and doing all that shit. Stop that. Be the corporate people you're supposed to be. I mean, honestly, you don't see Yoshida out there getting on there and being in chats and doing all that. He
I
may tweet
think
stuff out, but he ain't out there doing all that shit because he's concentrating on giving us exclusives and content.
exactly. That's what I was going to say. I think Microsoft is engaging with the communities because they're not giving them games. They got to feed them something, why the PlayStation side is getting games. Over on the Xbox side, they're getting leaks, rumors, and announcements, and no games. So yeah, I guess you got to keep the what's the word I'm looking for? You got to keep the inmates calm so they don't try to overrun the prison. So you got to tell them everything's gonna be good. So
No, that's a
um,
good point. But really, they need to stop. It's good that you interact with the community. I'm not saying that. That is good. But it can only be to an extent when it comes. And you need, like, they just had the marketing person step down. Well, of course. Now, I don't know why he stepped down. And I said this on Here We Go with That Shit Again, that it could be because maybe he wasn't getting the funding enough to actually market the way he wanted to. Possibility. We don't know. Or it could be because he's just shit at marketing. We don't know that either.
mm-hmm.
Okay. But I'm not going to say that because we don't know what's going on internally in the company and the funds they're allotting him to do what he needs to do. So because Microsoft don't like giving out numbers or saying anything. So with that being said, we don't know why he stepped down. So, and nobody's saying nothing.
You hit it right on the head. I don't know what's going on over there. All I can say is whatever's kind of effect it's going to have on Microsoft and on the Xbox brand, it'll come out sooner or later. We'll see the good or the bad, whichever direction it goes.
Yeah, but it's actually sad that somebody had to step down after all those years. And that's why it makes me think. Is it because, especially in the direction that Microsoft is going, is it because maybe he feels bad that maybe he's one of the people that actually did listen to people and saying this wasn't marketed properly, it came out the wrong time, this, that, and the other, and maybe he didn't have the money in that part of the division because people got to realize Microsoft has several divisions. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you got the Xbox division, you got the cloud division, you got this division, you got that division. They all have their own budgets. Okay, it's not under one umbrella. Okay, they all got their own budget. So what was he given actually to do this? We don't know. So I'm not gonna, talk bad about the guy and saying he did a shit job because now I'm thinking he's been there for so long. Well, maybe he didn't get the money to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe they cut his budget so bad that he couldn't do it. We don't know. So you can't say anything about that. You can't bash anybody or bash anything. I'm not bashing Microsoft either. We just don't know what's going on internally. And that's the thing when it comes to these fanboys. They're not paying you, and you don't really know what's going on internally.
Mm-hmm.
Except what you're being fed, like you said, like prisoners, so there's not a riot in the prison.
Right.
And you got to realize with what you just said, they get told anything just to avoid a riot. So you're being told anything just to pacify you. They're sticking a pacifier in your mouth, and that's it.
And that's what's crazy about Microsoft right now is that they, keep on coming out with these leaks and rumors and announcements, keep on saying this kind of crap that, they committed to first party games and stuff like that. I mean, where was all this a few years ago?
Good question. And see, this is the stuff I was saying 2 years ago. And now some people are now talking about it now. But I didn't get credit when I said it 2 years ago, but everybody's acting like it's something new now.
You know,
and I'm like, wow, it's
you
new.
really,
Go back to my old videos. I was talking about this stuff over a year ago. And you guys are talking about it now, and that's all I hear about is it now. But guess what? I didn't get no credit, but y'all are getting credit.
right?
How's that possible? How's that possible?
Yeah, that's some straight up garbage.
You got that from Greg.
Oh no, Craig says garbage.
Yeah. Well, you were close. You were close.
I try to be a little more correct about it. Garbage, trash. The OBJ down trash.
I mean, if you got something else you want to ask, shoot from the hip. It's all right.
No, it was something I was going to ask, but I forgot. You know, and it was Microsoft related too. And I know it's something about this crazy situation that they in.
Like I said, I don't want to see nobody fail, because you know what's going to happen? If Microsoft fails, where's the competition for PlayStation to keep on giving us what they're giving us? You need healthy competition. I mean, I thank God this generation that PlayStation still kept doing what they were doing, as much as Microsoft kind of let us down, okay, as gamers. But in the future, we need everybody needs healthy competition. And I don't want to hear, especially from the fanboys and from Xbox, oh, let's just wait until E3. What? I hear that every year. And what do you show me at E3? Another piece of hardware, more controllers, or the same old games, Halo, Gears, and Forza. Or you'll talk about a game saying it's going to come out, and then you find out it's canceled. Come on, guys.
What do you think would happen at E3 if Microsoft was to announce the Xbox 2 or whatever it is they plan to come out with next?
I'll laugh my ass off, because you didn't. This one don't even have games for it. So why would you announce another one? It's too early. Why? Come on. You don't need another console. You need more exclusives, more fighting games, more, more RPGs, more everything. You need those games. You need games. Not another console. Not another console. You need games. Period.
I agree. And with Microsoft claiming that this E3 is going to be the best one that they've ever had, and
oh God, here we go again.
Right. So my thinking is that if they actually do show some games, it's probably going to be games that's going to be 2-3 years out this for the next generation. So it's got me wondering that, okay, if you show a game that's going to be coming out 2-3 years from now, and everybody's kind of figured it out that it's for the next generation, are you going to announce the next console with all these games? I mean, so what are they going to do? Are they going to announce the games this year? This is what we got coming out. And these games are going to be 2-3 years down the line. And then next year be like, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell y'all that shit we showed y'all last year. That's going to be on the next console.
That it could be, or hopefully, since we didn't get much this generation, hopefully they were working on all these new games for this E3 to come out within this next 12 months. I'm going to give up. I'm going to go on a limb and say that. Hopefully that would happen. But if you're going to say these things aren't coming out for 3 years, you're going to lose a lot of people. New people will come for the backwards compat because they never played those games. But the people are there now. Some of them may walk, unless you're a fanboy.
Yeah, but I think that's a slippery slope. And the reason why I say that is because, first the fanboys was, screaming that they had the better lineup of games. And then, stuff like Spider-Man and God of War, when we started seeing gameplay of that, then they started flipping out and started tripping. And so when God of War came out, well, before it came out, they was trying to find ways to cut the game down. The game is out. They cannot say anything bad about it because the game is just too good for them to find something wrong with it. So now they flipped the script and saying that, Microsoft can learn from God of War and this kind of shit. And the big narrative with the Xbox fanboys these last couple of months is that they want to see a roadmap. They claiming they want to see a roadmap for the next couple of years. So that leads me to believe that if they do show some games at E3 this year, they're probably going to want a date attached to it in terms of what year it might come out.
But the problem with that is they've given us dates before and then canceled it a week before.
Also true.
So a roadmap ain't going to do nothing for you. And you know what's funny? You were talking about people who are now saying that Microsoft can learn from God of War. The same people that were bashing God of War. Those are the same people that are comparing it to Rise on Rome. So think of your source.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they a trip. They definitely know how to move the goalposts. I mean, they
don't realize they stick their foot in their own mouth. Don't you realize what you just said in the last video? Like, people don't know that or have screen capped it so they catch you again.
Mm-hmm.
That's why your asses get roasted all the time.
Right.
Because you say dumb shit, people capture it, and it's done.
Exactly. Yo, what is up, Eric? How you doing, bro? So that pretty much does it for me. I'm pretty much out of questions. So that about wrap it up. But
the one thing I do want to say is that I kind of think Phil Spencer's out of touch.
Oh, definitely. But
okay.
But I can ask you that question too before we wrap it up. With the heat he's been taking, with people getting mad at him, do you think it's fair? The heat that him and Mike Ybarra have been taking lately.
Do I think it's fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be getting heat because they keep making promises and breaking them. Canceling games, closing studios, not giving games, always saying wait until E3, and all it is more hardware. We don't want the hardware. We want the software. We want the games. So you're disappointing people. You're shoveling them shit day in and day out. So after a while, yeah, you need to take the heat. You need to stand that pile of shit and smell it. Smell what you've been dishing out to everybody. Seriously. Smell the shit you've been dishing out. Honestly. I honestly think they need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they deserve it because instead of people kissing their ass, some people are actually telling them what they really feel. And I give credit for those people that are actually doing it. Because this is what they need, and maybe they'll get their ass in gear and do something. Because at the end of the day, we're consumers, and the consumers are what? Always right. We're buying it. So we know what we want. You're not going to tell me what I want. Like say, oh, you want a new controller. You want another. No, I don't. I want games. I want exclusives. I want fighting games. I want RPGs. I want new. I don't want the same old shit. I'm tired of that. And I want backwards compat. I have all my consoles already. I have the games. Physical discs. Mm-hmm. I could just go play them. Pop them in and play.
Exactly.
I don't need all that shit. And even if you're going digital, that's fine. But give me the games.
Absolutely. So there was rumors going around about what kind of Microsoft E3 they're going to have this year. I guess some shit got out, and it looks like they very well could have a shitty E3. I think that if they do have a shitty E3, I think Phil Spencer will not be there because I think he's going to use his new position as an excuse and say that he, had other engagements. He was too busy. He's working on some important projects, whatever the case may be. And I think he'll leave that Matt Booty there to take the hit for him.
You know what? I'm going to say something. With his position, your job is to oversee all. If you couldn't handle it, you shouldn't have taken it. Ain't no excuse of you saying, well, I had to handle all these other affairs. Then you need to have people around you to let you know what's going on so you can address it. That's a poor excuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very poor excuse. You cannot just do that. And don't let other people take the fall for what you weren't doing.
Absolutely.
Stay off of Twitter. Stay out of people's chats. And handle what you're supposed to be handling. And then you would have the time to address it.
Oh, sorry for laughing. I had a
Right.
little
But
flashback of when Phil, him and Crap Gamer had a little thing.
oh, please. That stupid shit. Man, that was corny as hell.
Absolutely.
Come on. I mean, that shit was I can't, that shit was so stupid that you have to laugh about it. Yeah, you have to. Because
Mhm.
it was stupid. I mean, come on. I mean, of all people you're going to get in a chat with him, you must have done lost your goddamn mind.
Mhm.
So now I know where your head is. It's up your ass. Because you ain't hearing shit that anybody else is saying. Your ears are clogged with shit because your head's up your ass.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So I'll ask you one more, question, which, everybody kind of know the answer to it, but I still want to hear your take on it.
Okay.
What is the deal with the Xbox acting like Insomniac owes them something with the Spider-Man game? What is the deal with them acting like Insomniac is supposed to give them the Spider-Man game too?
The problem is that when they know PlayStation's getting something good, they swear they deserve it as well. No, since you are fanboys, okay, and you will be an Xbox, and not to be crude, sucking dick to the corporates up there, okay? I told you I keep it real. If you're gonna do that, ask them for the games that you want. Don't go after a developer because you ain't getting shit. Go after the people that are supposed to be having developers develop games for you. But if you remember, they closed down the studios, didn't open anything new. And if you remember back when they were, a year or two ago, how they were talking about, Sony's going broke. Sony can't do this. Yeah, Sony did close down some studios, but they also opened some.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they opened a new one, or excuse me, they're opening a new one. So, but they produce games. You guys predicted, everybody predicted Sony was going to go out in 2 years. I said no, they're not. You're talking about Sony. I was told you don't know what you're talking about. Here we are 2 years later, and now everybody's asking me, do you think Microsoft's going to? You think Xbox is going to go under? So, come on. Once again, we're talking about shit that I said, 2.5 years ago that nobody gave me credit for, but now everybody else wants to speak on it, and they get credit. That was one of the things when you said, I can't even say it. You wanted my take on being a woman gamer. I think that was one of the hardest things that I had to deal with, was what I said years ago that has come true. People are saying it now, and guess what? People are giving these people talking credit, but I don't get the credit.
Okay, so now you've been a content creator, been on YouTube for about 3 years now.
Correct.
You showed that you got skills in the fighting games. So it's safe to say that you earned your stripes, in this field. You took your lumps, you did what you had to do, and you deserve to be where you at now. So, but do you think people are taking your opinions more seriously now?
No, I'm
Really?
still getting I'm still getting some backlash. Yeah, I am. Yep. Unfortunately, I am. Like I said, they're talking about stuff, and these are people that I've known of on YouTube for a while. Maybe not know personally, but known of. And they're taking shit I said from years ago. They're getting the credit, but I still don't. And they don't even say, oh, do you remember? I mean, and these people, these maybe even people that I don't know, I'm not on the outs with, that I was just, okay with, don't say, well, you know what? Do you remember Titanfall Princess said this whenever? I ain't asking to kiss my ass to give me a lot of credit. It's not what I'm asking for. But don't act like it's something new when I said it, and you go back and take what I said and use it now, and you get the credit and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is, and it bothers me. It bothers me a lot, only because not to where I lose sleep, but I don't understand why when somebody else says something, I will always shout them out and say, when such and so said this, I give them credit. I agree. I wasn't sure when they said it, but they were right. I'll tell somebody when they're right, no matter who you are. Even if I hate to say it, I've even done it with people I don't like. I'll say, I don't like this person, but they said one thing that I agree with. I'll even do it with people I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh
that's just the
boy.
type of person I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, as far as people I don't like, as far as who I interact with, I haven't come across anybody that I dislike yet. As far
Oh, you'll
as
find them. Sorry, but you'll find them.
I'm sure I will, but even if it's somebody I don't like, I'll still keep my distance from them. Because because if we have a total boil over, the situation that we talked about before we went on air, about some something that happened just recently. I won't let it get to that level, because even after you patch things up, it's never going to be the same.
True.
I cut dudes off 10 years ago, and still haven't spoken to them to this day, because they took us down a road there was no coming back from. And so, when I get put in that kind of position and I have to do something, I make that my very last resort. I mean, I do something when I absolutely have no choice, because I don't want to get put in a situation where, people go get in their feelings and stuff like that. And it's just never going to be the same.
Right. The one thing I did want to bring up that you didn't ask, and only because there are other female gamers out there, okay, is that they have their channels, they create their channels, but I don't see them getting as much hate that I do. They seem to get more respect than I do. Why? I don't know.
That's something I'm totally unaware of, because truth be told, as far as women goes, I subscribe to you, so I see what's going on with you now, and the only other like female YouTuber that I'm familiar with is Luca. I'm not sub to her, but I've been in podcasts with her a couple of times. So as far as the women goes, most of the stuff that I see, I see stuff on Twitch, see women streaming games that they play in Grand Theft Auto, whatever the case may be. And as far as the comments goes, oh, you're beautiful. Oh, that's all the stuff that I see. So, for you to be catching the shit that you catching is a little surprising to me.
Yeah. And it's just like, I was thinking, I've been on a lot of podcasts, and I've been on a lot of podcasts with different females in the gaming community. My thing is that bothers me when it comes to the gaming community, that the women don't stick together. I'll go on a podcast and you say, hey, what's up to them? They don't want to talk to you. And then they try to overtalk you. And it's like, listen, we're on the same page. Girl, we're on the same page. We are the minority in this community. We should stick together. But they don't. They don't. And that's something I don't understand.
I didn't really, I didn't even know it was like that, because
well, you're not a woman. You should know that. Let me stop. Unless you tell me something I don't know about. Let me stop.
I mean, I don't know how to.
You got to realize I've been doing this for almost 3 years. I've been on a lot of podcasts with different women. Okay, and I don't have no problems with any of these women. So I don't understand why we can't get on a podcast and you can't even just say what's up, how you doing, and not try to overtalk me every time I talk. It shouldn't be that way.
Right.
Let us both have a voice, because two women sticking together is better than two not.
Absolutely.
And that's all I'm saying. I like I said, it's there's a lot of things that I've been through that people don't understand when it comes to YouTube and being on podcasts. I've been on a lot of people's podcasts. It's just like I told you before we started. I try to help people out that were starting a podcast. I'd promote them. I'd have them on my podcast. I promote them every time. I tell people to go follow them, sub them. Once they get to a certain level, I don't even hear from them no more. Once in a blue moon. But they don't even say, hey, Princess, thank you for shouting out my channel all the time. Hey, thank you for this. Now, I have some that do. Don't get me wrong. But there's quite a few that don't. And it's like, I ain't asking for his credit, but I've shouted you out how many times?
Mm-hmm.
And put your link in my description box, and I had you on my podcast. I went on your podcast. And once you get to a certain level, it's like, bye. And it's like, okay, so you just going to use somebody and then say to hell with you. Not everybody. There's a few that did that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying it's everybody, because I have quite a few people that we've worked together and helped each other out. And you all know who you are, and you shout me out. I shout you out all the time. It is what it is. But then but what I'm saying is that's something else I went through in the gaming community on YouTube.
In my case, you know, I've only been on YouTube since December. You know, I started my YouTube page in the middle of December. I got laid off from a job that I worked for 10 years, you know, and at the time that I got laid off, I had been in a lot of contact with King Thrash, you know, because he's my favorite YouTuber.
He's been on my podcast. Mm-hmm. I've been on his too, so yeah.
He's a cool dude. He's a real dude. Mm-hmm. He's highly
funny
intelligent.
As hell.
Yeah, he's funny. He's
funny as shit. He's funny as shit.
You know, but when I told him I was thinking about starting my YouTube page, he was like, do it. You know, he was like, I'll be your biggest supporter. I'll back you up. And when I came out with my intro video, a couple of hours later, Thrash came out with a video, and he mentioned me in the video. He's like, hey, go check out my boy Lincoln Clay. He just, you know, started a new channel. Make sure you check him out. Boom, right out the gate, six subscribers. And I definitely do not forget that stuff, because I mean, just about, you know, and I'm always mentioning Thrash, Sick Humor, Craig Harris, Fatal Mephisto.
Excellent people.
Yes,
I deal with all. I have them on my podcast. I go on theirs. I deal with them all. I like them all.
I like excellent them all, people, and they've all helped me. And I will acknowledge that just about every time. Yes, and I will acknowledge that just about every time I get a chance. You know,
and there's nothing wrong with that. See, but that's the thing about you and me. We acknowledge that. People are afraid to acknowledge that somebody actually cared enough on YouTube to support you and push you to do the right thing, because they're afraid that, oh, well, they didn't do it on their own. No, they actually did do it on their own. It's just that people are showing them support and love. There's a difference.
No doubt. You know,
you did it on your own, but you had a lot of support for people just to say, hey, all they did was say, go check out the channel. Those people didn't have to sub. So they liked what they saw.
You know,
and that's what people don't understand.
And I'll tell you right now, just from this podcast tonight, I picked up 5 subscribers, and for that, I thank you very much. You know, and I definitely can't thank you enough for coming on here, because I was like, you know, who better to have, you know, as my first female guest on here. You know what you're talking about. You know, you got a little bit of spice to you, so I definitely wanted you on the show.
I appreciate that. I do. I really do. And I'm glad you got 5 subscribers. We're going to get you some more. The whole group of us, all the people you named, including me. We're going to have you back on one of my podcasts. It could be on Here We Go With That Shit Again, or the Irish Podcast, or both, depending on you. And we're going to get you up and running. We're definitely going to get you up and running. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Okay, so tell me about this Here We Go With The Shit Again podcast. Tell me what that podcast is about.
It's about, well, I don't put in the title shit only because YouTube gets mad. So, but it's a no holds barred podcast. It's like whatever goes. We talk about all the bullshit in the community, all the bullshit in gaming, all the idiot friggin' fanboys. And it could be both sides. It ain't just one-sided.
Right.
You know, that's what it's about. And it's a no holds bar. I have it rated R. It ain't for kids. You can cuss. You can do whatever you want.
All
So
right. We'll count me in. I'd love to jump in there.
okay, it's at 7 o'clock on Tuesdays, Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. I could come, but I might only be able to stick around for an hour and a half because we got the Roundtable podcast on Tuesday as well.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I know
so-
that happens. It happens usually right after mine.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, just jump in. I mean, let me know if you want to come. I mean, you want to be a permanent member to get your shit out there, you could do that too. That's fine. And yeah, and if you can only stay for an hour and a half because you got to get ready for something else, that's fine. We know that ahead of time. That's good because I like your input because I've been on a podcast with you before and you have good things to say. Like I told you before we even got on here, I'm very particular about who I do podcasts with now. And I like what I saw about you. I liked what I heard about you from other people. I like the people you associate with. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to do this with Lincoln Clay. Hell yeah. And besides, I like the name you chose. I like that character. So,
you know, oh my goodness, you will never see a game like Mafia 3 again. I had to take that name.
No, that character, I love that character. Yeah. I really do.
You got a game where they spitting out the racism like full blown racism in this game. And you got a man who's taking on the mob. He's taking on corrupt police. He's taking on corrupt officials. He's taking on the KKK. You'll never see a game like that again. So for that, I salute Lincoln Clay. So that
you know what? It's not only that. It's not only that. They give. I ain't trying to be controversial, but they give a black man a good role for once, and not getting killed in the beginning.
That's what I wanted to say, but I didn't want to take it there.
I'm going to say it.
Never see a game where a black man shot up a bunch of cops, went up against the mob,
KKK,
blew up the fucking KKK, dropping big ass Molotov cocktails in there. You'll never see a game like that.
That's what I'm saying, and they need more diversity like that in games. They really do.
Mm-hmm. And so because of that, I picked up the physical copy of Mafia 3. That is going to stay with me forever. I don't care what my next console is. I'll never get rid of that game. I played the game through twice. And
I know where you're coming from. I know where you come from with that game. Trust me. I know. I enjoyed it to the max.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I'm saying is, but like I said before, I'm here because, like I said, I like the people you hang with because I hang with the same group. I keep my circle small.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You have to. So beware of that. Don't make your circle too big.
Right.
Okay? And also, I like what I saw. I like what I heard. I heard you shouting out people. I was like, all right, somebody for real for once. So yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm definitely going to do this with him. I'm definitely going to do this with him.
And I appreciate it. I have no problem admitting that if it wasn't for people like Thrash, Sick, Craig Harris, Xbox Vidiot, and the rest of them, I have no problem admitting that if they all had not helped me, I would probably still be sitting on, 25 subs or something like that right now. And, truth be told, I'm not looking to get 3,000-4,000 subs or something like that. I've accomplished my goal already because, we sitting here having this podcast and there's a conversation in the chat going on next to us. I mean, when I first started, my chat section was a ghost town. Now people carrying on conversations in there. And that's all I wanted. Yes.
Isn't that a great feeling? Because you know what? They're talking about gaming. You see, that's what my thing was. That's why I wanted to do this. I wanted people just to unite for gaming and be able to just when they come home from work or whatever they're doing, just unite in gaming. Forget about what's outside there. Enjoy yourself. And bring them some real news, some good shit. Talk about good games. Tell them why you thought the games were good, what you think they'd like about it, what you liked about it. I mean, people have come and asked my opinion about games a lot that really follow me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, listen, this is what I liked about the game. I don't know if it's your type of game or your type of genre, but I'm going to tell you this. This is what I liked about it. I said, I'm not going to spoil it, but these are the things I liked about it. It's up to you. And they said, no, that sounds good. I'm going to give it a shot. And I said, you know what you could do first? I said, this is what I tell people. If you're a GameFly person, you could buy it fully later on. You pay once a month for GameFly. I don't personally use GameFly, but people have told me about it. So that's where I got the idea from. Okay? I don't use GameFly, but people told me about it, and I got the idea from them. Why don't you try GameFly? Check the game out. If you don't like it, you just send it back and get a different game. But if you like it, you could still send it back, get a different game to try, and buy it digitally or physically, depending on which way you buy it, and then enjoy it forever.
Yeah, no
don't
doubt.
Just take my word. But I tell people, don't just take my word for it, because I may like a game that you don't like, and you may like a game I don't like.
Right.
So don't just take my word for it, but I give them ideas of how they can do it in a cheap way so that they can get the experience, see it, and if they don't, just send the shit back.
Mm-hmm. Now, give me a second to respond to somebody in the chat. I think it looks like his name is Steven Fave. He says here, I'll sub, but please no Xbox hate, bro. Now I'm gonna be brutally honest with you, Steven. No Xbox hate, but I'm not sugarcoating what's going on over there. There is a problem over there. There is a lack of exclusives over there. And Phil Spencer basically has a mutiny on his hands with the Xbox going crazy over there.
One thing he don't get, Lincoln. One thing he don't get is I said it in the beginning. We don't hate the Xbox. We just expect more.
Right.
It's constructive criticism. Okay, I forgot your name. I apologize, but it's constructive criticism. Mm-hmm. It's not hate. Okay, it's not hate. We don't hate them. We just want more from them. That's it.
Mm-hmm. The true Xbox fans want games. That's not too much to ask. Instead, as at the moment, they're getting fed rumors, leaks, and announcement. While the PlayStation over here, they having a God of War overdose over here. So that's what my channel is about. But I'll talk about whatever the hot news is or something like that. If Microsoft does something good, I'll definitely say something about it. If they do something bad, just like Sony, I'm gonna pull their card.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. We're not bashing. Okay. We just want them to do better. That's it. We want more. We don't want them to go under. We're not bashing them. We're really not. And I said that in the beginning of this video. I said it in the middle of this video. I said it the whole time. Oh, by the way, what's up, Sick? We got Sick in the house.
What's good? Gunru Gaming, what's going on, brother?
But no, I know he appreciates you subbing, but you got to understand where he's coming from. He ain't trying to bash Microsoft. He just wants more from them, just like I do. I have the console. I want to be able to use my console more.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And I can't tell you how excited I was when the first Gears of War came out. And it wasn't even the multiplayer. It was the campaign. It was a story.
Oh, shit. I remember that. You just got me, because when the first one came out is when I went out and got my 360 because of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I saw it on YouTube and I was like, oh shit, I gotta have this. And I got my console when Gears of War came out, day one, I bought both.
Rainbow Six Vegas released that same week, if I'm not mistaken, as Gears of War. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I said, if my money gets tight and I can only get one of these games, which one is this going to be? And I was like, I love Rainbow. I don't play the Rainbow games before, but this Gears of War is looking kind of tight. I was like, these is graphics I've never seen before. These are some tight graphics. I was like, this game is going to set the bar. And fortunately, I had enough money to get both of them. But I mean, the original Gears of War was that it was that wow factor. I was like, I absolutely have to have this game.
Okay, but what would you have chosen? if your money was tight, which game would you have chosen?
I think I would have chose Gears of War. It would have been a very hard choice
Nice. Woo.
because I know all my friends would have gotten Rainbow Six because they were, back then the crew that I used to game with, we were big in the first person shooters. So we used to put a lot of hours in on Rainbow and Ghost Recon. But I knew that I was going to be playing Gears of War by myself, but I didn't care because I saw that campaign, I saw those graphics, and I was like, I absolutely gotta have this game. And it was like I remember, circling that day on my calendar. I can't remember the exact day it came out, but I was like, I cannot wait till this game come out. I pre-ordered it from Best Buy. It was that wow factor, and that's what I want to see again coming from Microsoft. God of War is that wow factor. Everybody's saying wow. Even people who don't have a PlayStation is acknowledging that it's a good looking game and it looks interesting and stuff like that. That's what Microsoft needs.
That's all we've been trying to say. We're not bashing them. We just want that wow factor again.
Mm-hmm.
We don't hate them. We want them to do better. We want them to just bring it.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see what they got to do. We'll see what they're gonna bring with them.
I hope E3 that they actually do give us something. I really do. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see something, but I'm just hoping, like we were talking earlier, it's not 2 and 3 years out. You can have those other ones that are 2 or 3 years out. That's fine. But do you have something that you've been working on that you kept secret from us that can come out at the end of the year or the beginning of next year? That's what I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Holiday time, February, first quarter. Give us something. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. And if you're still trying to sell that Xbox One X, you got to give them something that'll make them want to go out and get that Xbox One X because I don't know how much God of War has boosted PlayStation Pro sales, but I would like to think the game itself, has boosted PlayStation sales altogether.
Right.
And so I haven't been able to play that game the way I wanted to. So I'm a little bit embarrassed that I'm probably only about 35% through the game. And here it is. You already finished it and getting ready to do round 2 on the game. I'm a little bit embarrassed.
Nah, but you know what? No, don't be embarrassed. There's other people that are behind me. So it doesn't matter. Look what Fatal did. Fatal went ahead of me. But you know what? They also did a patch on the game in the middle of me playing it, which made things different. But yeah, they patched it. So, but that's okay. But Fatal went ahead. He finished the game, but he platinumed it too. So some people are just go ahead of other people. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And that shouldn't be embarrassing to nobody at all. And anybody, no, honestly, you play the game the way you want to play it. Mm-hmm. We had this conversation. Here we go with the chit again, because people kept talking about, well, if everybody's just gonna play it on easy, and you don't do this and that, you're not a gamer. Listen, there are people who play it on every hardness. And some people play it, like I always start out normal. I never start out easy, but some people do, because some people want to get a feel for the game. If it's a new game for them, they want to feel for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fatal never played the God of War series. Okay? But he enjoyed this, and he, like I said earlier, he knew about, he got what the other ones were about. That's what I was saying. You got to play it to understand. But why I'm saying this is that people, if they put out the money for their game, let them play them how they want it. Why should they rush through a game that they're enjoying? Just let it be. And don't pick on them. I mean, unless they're streaming, they really fucking suck. If you want to do that, that's fine. But honestly, you don't have to throw it in there. But seriously, if somebody wants to play it on whatever level they want, the only thing I think is that if somebody plays it only on easy and does all the shit, don't sit there and go at somebody who's playing on normal or hard or beast or whatever and sit there and brag and throw. Just say, I beat the game. That's all you gotta say. You ain't gotta put somebody else down for it. Let them play at their own pace.
No doubt. You know, but it's a few factors as to why I'm sitting on where I'm at right now. You know, one, you know, is I'm working 6 days a week. You know, YouTube is takes up a good amount of time with me being in a couple of podcasts and doing my own podcast during the week.
And you also do
And
too many side missions.
yeah, I did too many side missions, and then I go to the gym, you know, about 3 times a week too. So that, you know, and then in between all that, I'm trying to take naps because all this shit just wears me out. So sometimes I just reach a point where I come home and I close my eyes for 1 second. Next thing you know, I wake up, it's midnight. I mean, I had just woke up from a power nap about 15 minutes before I sent you the link. I was out cold because it was I did about 9-10 hours today at work, and this, you know, it is what it
But see, as I'm
is.
saying, it happens. It happens. Like people say, well, why aren't you streaming more? Well, maybe I need a break. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I work too hard. You know, whatever. But that's what I'm saying. People have lives. Don't pick on people because maybe you don't have one and can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't have a job or you got somebody supporting you and you can do it. You know, maybe you don't work overtime like other people do, so you can do it. You know, maybe you live in mommy's house and you can do it.
Right.
You know, I mean, and some of these people that do it, I feel are kids that don't work yet. So they got the time. But actually what these kids should be doing is going to school books and studying so you can get somewhere in life.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trolling people.
Definitely got that right. What I need to do is to hit that Powerball or that Mega Millions. And what I would probably do is I would have.
You're going to give me half. Let me stop. Let me stop.
I could make you a business partner. What I would do is I would build 3 drive-in movie screens in my backyard, all connected to my PlayStation Pro.
Oh shit!
And I'm playing on 3 80-foot screens.
No, you know what I'd like to do if I hit one? I'll be honest. I'd like to find some old arcade games and actually, well, have some in my house, of course, but build a couple arcades that people could see where some of this shit came from.
Mm-hmm.
Let them enjoy the start where it was harder. You don't have restarts. You put your quarter in and that was it.
Hey, you got a comment here from Gunru Gaming. He says Titanfall's the truth.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
He was actually my first guest when I did my first show. He's
oh cool.
And I've known him since 2005. You know, we're part of ironically, we are part of an Xbox group that we call the Deuce Mob. We've been together. Our group was started, I think, back in 2002, and I think Gunru joined us like a year or two after that. So you know, our group is still together now. We don't game like we used to, but we still talk every day through GroupMe and other group chats. So
well, see, that's nice. That's nice. No, I think that's great. I think that's great. Hey, listen, since you're Lincoln's buddy, check him out. He gonna be on Here We Go with That Shit Again with me on Tuesday. Before he does the roundtable, and then he gonna hopefully be on the Irish podcast on Thursdays. Tuesdays it's 7, Thursdays it's 8 Eastern Standard Time. So check him out. You know, we're gonna do a lot of shit together.
Okay, I can make that because you know, I do the Lincoln show on Thursdays at 8 o'clock, assuming, you know, whoever the guest is can make it. Because that's one thing about the Lincoln show. Everybody that's been on this show is a bigger YouTuber than me. They are way bigger than me. And so I understand that I'm working on their schedule. So if if they can't make it on a certain day, then I have to reschedule it, to work with them because they've got their lives and stuff like that. And I'd imagine that, I'd imagine for some people, YouTube might keep them pretty busy.
Yeah, it does.
Like Thrash, I don't know how he does it. At one point,
he's all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, but he's doing podcasts and he's still putting out videos like 4 videos a week. And then he works too, and then he got to spend time with his girlfriend. So, I don't know where he's getting energy from to be able to do all this.
I don't know. Maybe he's drinking a lot of coffee.
Could be.
I don't know. Or maybe he's buying those little energy bottles. What do they call them? 8 hours, whatever.
Yeah, 5-hour energy. So
yeah,
if you're out there, Thrash, if you're out there, do what you do.
Do it, Thrash.
That's my dude. And
if people don't know who Thrash is, you got to check him out. He's funny as hell. He crazy, but he's funny as hell, and he puts out good content. So, seriously. Check out Sick too. He's in the comment. Craig, Fatal, all those guys.
A lot of the people in the chat, I've seen them in other chats too. A lot of the people that's in my chats, I've seen them in Sick Humor's chats. I've seen them in the roundtable chat. I've seen them in, our PlayStation podcast chat. We do that on Sundays. So, I assume that a lot of my subscribers know about, Sick, and Craig Harris. They know about you. So make sure, check them all out. If you haven't checked them out, check out Titanfall Princess, check out Thrash, check out Sick Humor, check out Craig Harris. Check out Xbox Video, Gunru Gaming. His channel will be coming up pretty soon. Make sure you check that out once he gets up and running. And make sure, we got 23 likes. Give us some more.
Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. We're showing you all this love. Show us some love, people. Give it to us.
Uncompetitive. What's going on, brother? So, is there anything else you want to add? Because for me, it is almost God of War time.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. No, I really don't. I will say one thing. I enjoyed being here very much. It was a nice, relaxing, fun show. We talked a lot of good shit. We kept it real with everybody. So now, with that being said, do what you got to do.
No doubt. Once we sign off, I need you to stick around for a couple of minutes.
I know.
And I'll answer that question for you.
No problem.
But to everybody else in the chat, thank you so much for checking out the show tonight. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the likes. For anyone that happens to catch this on a replay, I'd appreciate that as well. Make sure you leave a like on your way out the door. And you heard it from Titanfall. Make sure you look for me and her podcast. Here we go with the shit again. Tuesdays at 7. This is 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Okay. So make sure you check me out over there because I'm going to join that podcast. And then I'm going to check out her Irish podcast on Thursdays as well. I believe that's Thursdays at 7 o'clock. So I'm going to work that out where I can join that podcast before I do the Lincoln show. And with that being said, I'm still planning on having Carlos Fernandez as my guest next week. I will be in touch with him in the next couple of days so we can figure out what we're going to do about that. And so I'm your host, Lincoln Clay. I really appreciate everybody coming out. And before we go, I'll let Titanfall give her outro before we hit it.
Well, you guys know who I am. This is Titanfall Princess. You know where to find me. He just told you. Okay. You can also find me on Twitter and Facebook as well. Okay. And everybody, do me a favor. Sub him. Follow him. Hit that like button. And you know why? Because you know you love him. Later, and thank you for coming.
That's a good one. All right, everybody. Thanks for checking it out. And make sure you catch us tomorrow. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Tomorrow's Friday. I think tomorrow I may do just like an open mic thing. Gunru Gaming, we talked about that. If you want to join me in the podcast, tomorrow's just open. We just talk about whatever. Same thing, Fatal Festival. If you want to join us, Sick, you want to join us, this is just going to be one of them kind of like an open mic thing. So if you want to join us, even you, Titanfall, if you want to jump in tomorrow.
What time?
That I'm not sure about.
Right, well, hit me up tomorrow then. Let me know.
Okay, without a doubt. So it'll probably start out with me going live, and then whoever wants to jump in from there, we'll take it from there.
But you gotta let me know when time you're going live so I can.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm going to shoot, because I told Gunru Gaming, he could join me too, and I think he has to take his son to baseball practice or something like that. So we might be shooting for around 6:30 for the podcast Eastern time.
All right.
That'll work. So make sure y'all check us out tomorrow, and that's gonna wrap it up. This is your boy Lincoln Clay, along with the Princess Titanfall. We will holler at y'all later. We are out.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yep.